And we are live, guys. Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias, aka Broken Elegance, and today we are going to look at modern progressive house. So in style of Martin Garrix, Alesso, or maybe even Swedish House Mafia, I'm going to show you how to make a really sick drops for your next EDM bangers. Now I have this project file prepared for today's tutorial. It's from a upcoming remix. I can't unfortunately play the vocals for you guys, but we are going to look at the instrumental. It's EDM, so who cares about the vocals anyways. I'm still in this temporary studio, but in a couple weeks I'm actually moving to a new apartment and I will be setting up a proper studio there. It's been a while since I've had the proper place for all of my studio equipment, but finally I'm going to get a good location for everything and be able to treat the room and set up everything like I want it to be. I'm going to try to keep being active on YouTube, but there might be slight delay on tutorials, but that's going to be for the better of this channel, to being finally have a good place to record new material for you guys. We'll play from the build up and go through first and second part of the drop, and let's go on from there. Playing 3, 2, 1. Insert your generic EDM drop vocal. And more generic vocals. That's the drop, guys. Now I'm going to start breaking this down for you. Let's solo out the drums. The drops are fairly simple. First you have just a kick and crashes and one hi-hat. In the second part we get the full hi-hat loop and claps. And then towards end we have this riser. We also have these Kashmir claps supporting the main groove, and like in the first part some crashes, and that's pretty much it. If you guys want, I can do full breakdown of the drums and how I mixed them and what samples I used. Let's go through the build up. This is a little bit more complicated than the drop drums. So first we have the Kashmir claps and also the main clap of our drop. Some crashes. There comes some additional snares, hi-hats, and the way I've constructed this is that I have the main clap going throughout the whole build, and then we have these additional claps slash snares coming in, and they will be filtered out and also pitched up slightly towards the end of the build. You can hear it right here. and that creates some additional tension for the build-up. I've also sampled this percussion loop from the original track. Made it a little bit more like a amen break, and that just fills the background a little bit more. Really nice. Let's go to the instruments. So first of all, we have our two main leads, which will also play in the drop. And here I am looping first 4 bars of the lead melody, not playing the whole thing just yet, and then at the second part of the build I'm just looping 1 bar of the melody. I'll show you guys the leads. These sound so good. Here is the whole lead melody. Let me play it to you. Now remember, in the build we are just looping this first half. Lead consists of few vital instances. I'm using presets from my Alchemy preset pack for vital. This first lead and also the main lead of first track is called Nordic Sky, and it sounds like this. And I've paired it up with a second copy of the same lead, but used these really handy macros to increase the detune. I also took out some of the layers, and these two combined sound like this. That's really nice. Then we have a Synthmaster lead. This is from Synthmaster 1, and it sounds like this. And this thing always takes an hour to load. No, I want... yeah, it's called Lead Dysphonia. And let me play it to you guys. So it's this really wonky sort of lead with a little bit less detuned, more centered, and that is just going to support the main lead. Then we have couple other vital leads. I have this free floating lead, which is actually upcoming free download on the channel. I increased detune and wear and took out the reverb. Then we have this white noise layer, just a little bit of attack, and it's going to play the rhythm of the main layers. And that's it for the leads. Then we also have this other plucky lead, which is introduced earlier in the track. This is also a preset from Alchemy. And guys, if you are trying to upgrade your music and get more plays, get to the festival headlines and all that good stuff, check out Alchemy and Necromancy down below in the description. Most of these presets in this track are from Alchemy, which is more melody focused preset pack, and I'm using it pretty much in all of my tracks constantly. Okay, now let's go through the other instruments. There's not too much other stuff. I have this drop bass playing these notes, and this is from Necromancy heavily muted, and also toned down with some EQ. We have sub bass also from the pack. Then we have this drop piano. We also have this really cool plug from Alchemy, Cure Disease. Classic EDM plug, real workhorse for sure. We have a couple super saws which will be opening up throughout the build towards the drop, and in the drop they will be blasting at full power. First super saw, Cauldron. This is from Alchemy. I've quite heavily taken out the high end and some of the lower mids as well. Then the second super saw is Visionary. This is from Alchemy as well. You guys see what I mean. I've pretty much constructed all of these tracks with only the presets from Alchemy and Necromancy. And for melodic stuff like this, the Alchemy is such a good way to go. This is the second layer of super saw. Opening up towards the end of this build. Together all of the instruments except leads sound like this. So the leads open up throughout the first half of the build, and then all of the melodic stuff completely cuts out and we only have this bass. Which then pitches up and we progress to the drop. Now besides these elements we also have few effects. We have this impact from Kashmir. We have this exhaust from Kashmir. And some crashes, and then few build-up samples and some sweeps over here. This is really just arbitrary stuff, sweeps and downlifters and some risers. Doesn't really matter what you use, they are just there to hype up the track, build it up towards the drop, just overall creating some chaos in the background. This is what it sounds like. As far as for the drop, we pretty much have the earlier instruments. We have the bass, the drop piano, plug and super saw. We have also the lead and some additional background plugs. And all of that sounds like this. All of that is being heavily sidechained with Kickstart, and I've also done some heavy lifting on all of the individual channels. I've clipped pretty much everything, and also I have this FabFilter limiter on the main drop instrument bass. We also have the drums going on in the background, and that's pretty much it. In the second part we also have the lead, but we also get the main vocal. And the thing about having main vocals in your drops, especially with big leads like this, is you have to cut a lot away from the instruments to make some room for the vocals. So what I've done, I've used track spacer to take a lot away from the leads to make room for the vocal, and that is really unnoticeable even though you are taking quite a lot away from the instruments, since the audience's ears are going to be drawn to the vocals. So you can quite safely take out some of the frequencies away from the other instruments, and no one's going to really notice that. But that also makes it really easy for you when it comes to the mastering. Like this track, I believe, let's see. It's around 6.5 and we are peaking at minus 0.5 decibels. So we are at, I guess, 6 LUFS in real world, which is pretty loud. This could be cranked a little bit louder. We do not have too much limiting going on the master. Just 1 to 3 dBs on the ozone and maybe 4 on the Pro Al, but this could be cranked to, I believe, like minus 5 LUFS or so. The key takeaways from this tutorial are: pick good instruments, pick something that's going to really carry your track without needing tons of layers, then make some room for it with EQ. Like in this drop, every instrument has its place. We have the kick, we have the bass, we have the lead, and then we have some instrument in the background supporting those elements. And the third one is clip your shit. Like, let me show you guys. This is really nice. Like on the lead, we have the main lead layer over here. I've used distortion in it, I've used wave shaper on it, and then on the master bass we have G-clip. We are clipping it. Now it's not hitting the clipper since the other layers are taken off. We are running that to the drop layer, which also has limiting, and then we are running it through the master limiters, where we have 2 limiters. So I think that's like 5 different limiters for this specific lead. So guys, clip your shit. If you're careful with how much you are taking away at each stage of limiting, you can really cut a lot away from each one of the instruments, and it's going to really give you those extra couple decibels of loudness at the end. Now, I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial. If you did, please leave a like and comment down below what you would like to see next time. If you got interested about the instruments, check out the vital presets down below in the description. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya!